Imagine a surface of water so still that it reflects the sky with perfect clarity, a reflection so vivid that it becomes hard to distinguish the real from the imagined. But a single pebble thrown into it is enough to distort the reflection. Our minds work in a similar way. When disturbed by thoughts, desires, or worries, we lose the ability to see what lies beyond the ripples, the true self. From the moment we are born, we begin to accumulate labels. We are described as smart, shy, strong, weak, or even troublemakers. These labels, like clothes we wear without question, become part of who we believe we are. But do these definitions truly represent us? Or are they merely layers, masks upon masks, concealing what we are at our core? Take a moment to think. When was the last time you truly saw yourself as you are, without the filters of external expectations or your own illusions? Perhaps this question feels uncomfortable. Maybe it stirs memories, insecurities, or even silence. But Zen teaches us that it is precisely within this silence that answers begin to emerge. Not ready-made answers delivered neatly for easy consumption, but truths that gradually unfold, like the blossoming of a flower. In Zen, who am I is not a question to be answered with words. It is a gateway to self-discovery, an invitation to peel back every layer until you reach the essence of your being. In our daily lives, we often hide behind roles. We are the efficient professional, the loyal friend, the obedient child, the protective parent. Every interaction seems to demand a different version of ourselves. And yet, at the end of the day, when we are alone, sitting on our beds, staring at the ceiling or into a mirror, there's often a lingering sense of emptiness. It feels as though something essential is missing, something that should fill every corner of our being. This disconnection is not uncommon. It is the result of living so immersed in external noise, so consumed by the world's demands, that we forget to listen to our own voice. In Zen, there is a saying, "The bamboo is strongest when it is hollow." That inner emptiness is not a problem to be solved. It is an invitation to explore. So today, I want you to ask yourself, if all the masks were to fall away, if no one expected anything of you, not even yourself, what would remain? This is not a simple question. It is not something to be answered quickly, but it is a question that can guide you to a new way of seeing yourself, a new way of being. In a village surrounded by towering mountains, where clouds seemed to kiss the rooftops, there was a monastery known for welcoming travelers in search of answers. One day, a young man arrived there, exhausted, his face marked with restlessness. He had traveled for weeks, drawn by rumors of a wise master who helped people find inner peace. The young man, however, sought more than peace. He wanted answers. He wanted to know who he truly was. Upon being received by the master, he began to pour out his heart. "Master, I feel like I've lost something important. There's a constant restlessness within me. It's as if I'm running towards something but never reaching the destination. I want to know who I am." The master, with a gentle smile, looked at him and said, "I will tell you a story. But before that, tell me this. When was the last time you listened to the sound of the wind without thinking of anything else?" The young man fell silent. He didn't know how to answer. The truth was, he couldn't remember a moment when he had simply listened to the wind. The master then led the young man to a clearing behind the monastery, where the trees swayed gently in the breeze. He gave the young man a seemingly simple task. "Look at these scattered branches. Gather them and form a circle around yourself. Then, call for me." The young man spent hours trying to complete the task. Every time he thought the circle was perfect, a branch would come loose or seem misaligned. He grew frustrated, started over, and eventually finished, completely drained. The master returned and observed the work closely. "Very well. Now, tell me, what did you learn?" The young man hesitated for a moment before answering. "At first, it was frustrating. I was so worried about making it perfect that the task seemed impossible. But when I stopped worrying, when I simply accepted the branches as they were, I was able to finish. The master nodded with a slight smile. The circle you made is like your mind. The more you try to control it, the harder it becomes. But when you accept the moment as it is, things align. The next day, the master led the young man to a room in the monastery where a large mirror stood, covered in dust. He handed the traveler a cloth and said, "Clean this mirror and tell me what you see." The young man began wiping the mirror, gradually revealing his reflection. At first he felt excited, but as the image grew clearer, something unsettled him. His reflection seemed distant, like a person he recognized but didn't fully understand. He turned to the master, confused. "Master, this reflection is me, but it doesn't feel like me." The master replied calmly, "This is what happens when we look only at the surface. Your reflection is not you. It is merely what your eyes see. To know who you truly are, you must look beyond the mirror, beyond the dust, and beyond the reflection." The young man remained silent. For the first time, he began to realize that his identity was not something that could be found externally. The young man's journey at the monastery continued for weeks. During that time, he learned that the answers he sought were not outside of himself, but within, in the silence, in the careful observation of his own thoughts and feelings. As he prepared to leave, the master shared one final lesson. Do not seek the who as if it were an object to be found. Instead, ask yourself, what remains when everything is stripped away? There, you will find your true self. The essence of this journey is simple, yet profound. The true self is not something you find or build. It is something that emerges when you stop searching, when you let go of control, when you surrender to the present moment. But I don't want this reflection to remain just words. I want to invite you to take action. Today, set aside a moment to sit in silence. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, who am I? Don't expect immediate answers. Allow the question to echo within you. Each time you revisit it, it deepens. If this reflection resonated with you, share it. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this and share this video with someone else who might be on their own journey of self-discovery, and leave a comment. What does this question mean to you? I'm curious to know how you see your own path. Thank you for being here. May your journey toward yourself be filled with clarity, silence, and peace.